Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our 2014 NFL Draft Special. We're going inside the war room with the Carolina Panthers. We're going to take a look at their team needs to see what players could be possible selections to help fill those needs. But first, let's start off by taking a look at the upcoming picks the Panthers have in this year's draft.
The Panthers made the playoffs last year with a well-balanced offensive attack and a dominating defense. Now they are entering the NFL draft with 7 selections and are looking to repeat as NFC South champions. Now, where do the Panthers have to get better? First and foremost, the receiver position. They have to become more dynamic and more explosive on the flanks. The offensive line is another question mark, especially at tackle, and there is room to add depth throughout their defense. Now, here are some quick notes to keep in mind when watching this video. Number one, these picks are based off my own rankings of these prospects using my own prospect rankings and my big board, and it's not indicative of where I think these guys will actually go in May's draft. And this is the Panthers portion of my total 7-round mock draft. And to view my big board and other mock drafts for other teams, visit our website at footballgameplan.com/draft. In round 1, I selected Jarvis Landry out of LSU, who owns the best hands in college football. And yes, he didn't test well or run fast, but when you can catch the football like he can, contested or uncontested, you're always going to be open. In the second round, I find offensive line help with Jack Mewhort out of Ohio State, who was a very solid all-around player for the Buckeyes. I graded him out consistently in the mid-80s, and I believe he'd be the perfect guy to slide in at left tackle to replace the retiring Jordan Gross. Double dipping at the wide receiver position with Jordan Matthews out of Vanderbilt, who'll be an excellent Z receiver because of his run after the catch skills, and that'll just give Cam Newton another valuable option in the passing game. Keith McGill out of Utah makes a lot of sense here for Carolina. At 6'3", 200 pounds, McGill has good read and react skills, and I think he'd be better in off coverage and also as a situational safety to put his skills to better use. He'd bring added versatility to that Panthers secondary. Chris Smith out of Arkansas was a guy that lived in the backfield throughout the course of his collegiate career. Whether it was getting to the quarterback or being disruptive in the running game, Smith was a constant nuisance each and every Saturday. I'm a big fan of Ted Bolser out of Indiana, who in my opinion is a more athletic version of Greg Olsen. And Bolser is also a willing blocker that has soft hands and good route running skills, making Carolina's double tight end sets much more difficult to defend. In round 7, I grabbed Logan Thomas out of Virginia Tech, who'd be a very good backup to have on the roster behind Cam Newton. He has a similar style of play, but not similar talents, but I think he can improve. He got better as the season progressed and also did well in the Senior Bowl, but Thomas is a lot better than what's currently on the roster backing up Cam Newton. To recap my Panthers mock draft, the main focus was to increase the offensive talent around Cam Newton, and that was accomplished by adding 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a starting tackle, while also building depth defensively at every level. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Panther fan forums for always showing football game plan support.